Hey everyone, welcome back. Welcome back. I got another video for you. I'm going to continue to try to create good content for you. Continue to let me share my screen. Okay, so I've been really thinking about week 15, I wanted to focus on how to build a GovCon pipeline and all using the Google Workspace. I created a video with the Apex Accelerator on creating a effective market research. Well, this is just a spinoff. Every video that I will be recording moving forward is just to really bring in clarity to the small business so they can understand the different things. Hold on, let me take these glasses off. Understand the different things that you have to do to win government contracting. All right, the different things that it's going to take and how you need to um, focus yourself and get everything together. And so every time I get a few minutes, I'm going to continue to record these videos. And I believe you all are finding it valuable. Please put a comment in the comments below that lets me know that I'm resonating. I'm creating content that resonates with your small business. And then that way I can continue to make more content that is going to help your business to grow. It does no good to create all these different programs or these videos and it's not helping anyone. So that's why I really want to make sure that I'm creating content that's going to help. Okay. And so let's get started. Hold on. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's see. Okay. So in this video, so let me go to the next slide. Hold on. All right. So what is a GovCon opportunity pipeline? All right. So we're going to only focus on opportunity tab because my goal is for this video it's going to be a series, right? This video is just talking about because there's several things that you need to do, right? But the video is going to only talk about the opportunity intake tab for this video. And this is the foundation where you're going to capture all of the raw data about all the opportunities before you qualify. Now, we're not qualifying. We're not doing anything. Right now, we're focusing on capturing all the raw data. Then we're going to qualify, capture planning, proposals, and that's going to be in another series, right? Because I want to keep the video small and bite size. It's important that I continue to just keep breaking it down in little segments and then ordering it. And then that way, as we continue to build this resource, then I'll have the workbook available. I have all those different things that's going to help you in your small business. And so my thing is, first you have to build a sheet. Then we're going to automate the intake with a Google form. Now, if you use a Microsoft, then you automate it with a Microsoft form, whatever forms you want to use. But in this video, I'm only focusing on the tab, the spreadsheet. In the next video, I'm going to talk on how to connect the Google form to it. But I'm keeping them in bite size and giving you time to train your team, your virtual assistant, anyone. Okay. But we're going to keep it simple and hands-on. Now, I want to explain to you the role of the intake tab. Okay. The role of the intake tab is your database, right? We're building a small, scalable database to get started. Now, everyone on your team who is assigned to do the data entry, that's the person who's going to use that sheet. Okay. So it could be your VA, your research assistant, your BD lead. They are the ones who should input the information in that form. But we created the sheet for this video, and then the next video we'll create the form. But I just want to give you a basic overview. Then the later tabs we're going to add to this Google sheet is maybe active pipeline, the forecast, active opportunity. I'm trying to debate on what tabs that you need right now to get started. So that's why I'm really taking my time and building it. Watch so you can see me build it as we go and then developing it. And then that way this keeps the BD and the CEO from being burdened with all of the stuff that they shouldn't even see. Okay. So that's why for it, but I want to continue but I want to get back to this and stay focused. All right. So a government opportunity is a structured process. Okay. It's a structured process in a tool often built in a spreadsheet or in CRMs and different things like that. Some people use Salesforce and all those different things like that. Or it depends on your choice of software. And I chose to use something that anybody could use and get started right away. And that is a Google Sheet, because Google has provided all those resources. All you have to have is a Google account, and then you start utilizing all of their stuff and their software. So this is going to help you to stay on track, manage all your contracts from each stage, because you have to track the stages. So that's the reason why this video is important. And then the moment you identify an opportunity, until the proposal is submitted or awarded, either you win or you lost, whatever, you need to be tracking it. Okay. And then if you don't want to go after it, that's another thing, but start tracking it. Okay. So why an opportunity pipeline matter? It prevents missed opportunities, because you'll be working on 5 or 6, 7 opportunities. You're going to lose track. And so the sheet keeps you focused. All right. And then it does discipline. It helps the team regularly update, okay, qualify, move opportunities forward. You're just building those systems. And then it supports decision making. All right. You can see a lot from entering data, and you can look at the trends and stuff. Okay. Now, the typical pipeline stages, you can have more, you can have less. It's up to you. I just want to give you something basic to just get started. Okay, so the first thing, you identify, you find a potential opportunity on SAM, an agency forecast, at a networking event. It's a plethora of things, but you've identified it. All right, then you want qualified. Okay, you reviewed it, you confirmed it, it matched your NAICS, your PSC code, your set aside. You have that set aside, say it's a woman-owned, veteran-owned, whatever. You have the budget, because you can afford to go after this opportunity and not get paid for 30, 60, or 90 days, because you have money to supplement your business until you receive your first payment, especially when you're first getting started. So that's why I always say, make sure you got that budget, the finances, and you have the capabilities. Now we want to capture it. All right, you're actively preparing. So now we're going to go contacting the COs, KLs, we call them KOs, finding team and partners, so forth and so on. The proposal, and then close. Did I win it? Did I lose it? And then that way, when you go back and do your debrief, they're not even doing the debriefs as much anymore, because especially with this administrative change and so many things are changing, you have to be flexible. But if you're keeping the data, you can go in there and give yourself an assessment. Okay, why do we think we won this? Why do we think we lost this? That's up to you. Next, the Google Sheets setup columns. Okay, step 1, the opportunity. So we're talking about the opportunity intake tab. And so I just created a basic Google document. All right, I started filling it in just so I can give you some data that will help you just get started. Sometimes you just need to get started. And as we go, we'll just continue to keep adding new tabs. And then once you get all the tabs, then you can create the automation, the workflows to get put that Google app script in there. And then that script will give you a notification that, hey, I got 3 things coming up. It's however you want to script it, but you first have to get started of getting the data. So I just put some information in here. I went on SAM, found an opportunity. I can go on SAM right now, pull up another record, so that way I can show you exactly how it's done. So you will go into sam.gov. So let me just pull mine over here. Okay, so let me put sam.gov over here so we can go through each one. Okay, so the date log, I'm always putting the date log so I'll know how long the data person is going to put the date log. Okay, so the things you're going to put on this sheet. So first step is, as soon as an opportunity is spotted in sam.gov, agency forecast, industry, etc., who is going to be the person to do this? This is the first thing we need to establish. Who will be the person doing this? And this is only for columns A through K. The date log, notice ID, opportunity title, target and AG sub-agency. What is the acquisition stage? Is this a, also I call it, so the SSN, you know, the source of sought notice, the RFI, request for information, all right, the solicitation, pre-solicitation and award, special notices, you name it. What stage is it in? And publish date, the due date, the set aside date, the set aside, NAICS code, product, and then I always put the link in there. So you'll see right here. So let me blow it up. Let's do about so you can see. So you see, I put a few of them in here just to see. So what you do, all you're doing is the same thing I've done. So you go in here, you go in contracting, okay? Advanced search. I'm always looking for all things government acquisition because I'm an acquisitions me. So that's the only thing I'm looking for. Say I'm going in here, I'm looking for DOD. So the first thing I'm going to do is put DOD because I want to go after a DOD opportunity. That's Department of Defense. Now, you know, there's sub-agencies and so forth and so on like that. But for the sake of this video, so we don't make it too long, I'm going to just say DOD. Then the type of what I'm looking for. Am I looking for a source of sought notice, pre-solicitation, whatever I'm looking for? So if you want to do source of sought notice, then you want to do pre-solicitation. Even if you want to do a special notice, you can click that. Pre-solicitation, your solicitation or combined synopsis. Okay, I've talked about other videos on what those are. So you'll have, but to keep this video short, I'm going to keep going. So then the next thing we want to do after our code is 541611. I'm always looking for, and then my PSC code. I want Romeo 707 because I'm always doing Romeo 707. That is contract management, procurement, acquisition, all things acquisition. Because I want to be known as the SME, and then training. I also look up for training because training is another one that I also look up, training. So if I wanted to look up my training one, 611430. So professional and management training. So I'm looking at those opportunities. And then uniform, I believe it's uniform 001. Education, training, and lectures. So you might have the uniform 009. It's up to you. It's whatever you want to do. So then when I go over here, I found, oh, I want to go after these two things. So then, but this is, I identified. So now I'm going to go in here, have my data person come in and input through the Google form. Now, if you don't want to do a Google form and you just want to enter straight on the sheet, that's up to you. I just wanted to make it so easy and clean so there's not a lot of people on the sheet. People don't accidentally delete stuff. All those different things when a lot of hands are touching your sheet. As the business developer or the CEO, or however you want to set up your team, you want to be responsible for the sheet and not everyone touching the sheet. So that way you don't have to worry about all of that. That's why I always recommend, and everywhere if I've worked, people use a form for intake. The data person intakes stuff because it's just easier and it just helps everybody, and everybody doesn't have access and messing with or updating, deleting this, and you don't have time for that. Okay, so then say we want to go, oh, this is a good one. We want to go after this one. Then you will update this information. So both of them, because one of them, hold on, this one is doing the 4. This one is already passed. So you know you can't go after them. This one already passed. This is only if you want to come, if it's you want to do some research, maybe you really want to go after this. So then you will add it to your different tab of things that I would like to go do some research on to see if they're going to recompete this again, or is this a one-off buy? It's a lot of other things that will go with that. But I don't want to get off. So now this one is coming up on September the 4th. So ideal. Okay, so the first thing we're going to open up the record. And then first thing we're going to do, when you're the data person who's entering it, you're going to copy that name. See, it's so simple. You copy it and you drop it in the next one. This is the opportunity. You hit enter. Boom. So you already started to capture. And if you want to keep everything clean and neat, hit your wrap text, and it's there. And then they will put the notice, but all of this will go through the form, and then it's going to populate on the sheet. But until you set up the automation and set that Google form sheet up, you're going to have to do it the manual way, just copy and paste. Then you need that notice ID. So you definitely got to get your notice ID, copy, and then you're going to do the same thing. And then, hold on, let me hit enter. And then now you have, and then put your date in here. So I recommend that you do, when you want to go put your date, you got to go up to data validation. Then you're going to come over here and add your rule, and you're going to hit the drop down and change it to is a valid date, because we want a valid date. So that way the calendar comes up, and then you put today's date, and you can do it for the whole row and set it up. But for the sake of the video, I didn't do all that. I just want, because I want to show you how to set up your sheets and your forms, and then you just hit done. So now, okay, hold on. Let's see. Let me close that because I don't want to make nothing else come up. You see how I dropped down. Let me fix that real quick. All right, so we want the date. There we go. And then done. All right, so now let me close that so we don't change anything. And that's how you get your fields to always come, because the goal is when we create the dashboard, it's going to pull it. It has to be formatted as a date. So that's why it's important that you put these data validations, because you don't want to be typing anything. And then always set a rule up. So have your SOP, how you're going to enter the data, so they always enter the same every time. Okay, so the next, we know the agency. So what I always recommend is just take this until you've created your system. Take the first one. All right, hit edit. And then say you were doing Department of Navy. This is DOD, Army, AMC. But this one, let's see who this is. Now, this one is Department of Air Force, and it's the Air Combat Command. So then you will have to add them in, and you will have your naming convention. So say you want to add a new drop down. You want drop downs because I'm telling you, I've seen it too many times. They'll be entering DOD. Okay, DOD caps. Then somebody else enter it a different way. Now you're trying to pull all this data in there, but it's been formatted totally different ways. And you want it formatted the same way when you create your dashboard at the end of the exercise. So we know we want, this is DOD. And then we want to put, we want that lowercase d. And then we want to put that this is Air Force. So then all you do is put a F for Air Force. And that's why you need to have your acronyms. How are you going to set everything up in here? So that way it's always the same and people know what code to put or the naming convention for that agency. And then we said that's Air Force. And then it was under the Air Command. So we'll just put ACC. So, and then you, like I said, you have to, because it's ACC for Army Contract Command. So that's why you got to put what, have your sheet of acronyms on what is what. And then we do put ACC. And then that's done. And you're going to, and then you apply it to all. And then now you will change it to where it's supposed to be right here. And do the same thing. We know this is a, hold on, close that. And what was this? This was a, let's keep scrolling down. Now, this right now is, wait a minute, I probably missed it. Oh, I apologize. Sources sought. So this is a sources sought notice. And if you want to pull the sources sought notice and RFIs separate, then all you do is go in here, hit edit. And so say you don't want your sources sought notices to be together and you want them separate, then you just add a new one and then you move it where it needs to go. If you want to color code it, say you want all your forecasts to be to let you know purple. And if you want all your SSNs, you can come in and customize it so it's easy for you to see. And so we see that was a sources sought notice. We can make sources sought notice green. And then once you apply the rule, you hit apply. Now you can go in here and say sources sought notice, and you'll keep all of the sources sought notices together. Uh-oh, hold on. I see what I did. You can't have, I don't want to have multiple selections. You can't do that, or it's going to mess up your the way you're trying to do everything. And now we can hit source of salt. And you see all my sources salt notices now color coded. And that way you're doing it. So you don't want to keep having to do things over. Everything we're doing is trying to automate, make things easy every time. And this is how you're going to do it in the next video. And then same thing with you're going to do the validation, and you're going to continue until you got the whole. Then you have your NAICS code, same way. You just add all your NAICS code, the PSC code you're going after, and then always make sure you capture the notice link. Okay. Once you put the notice link in here, because this is the data person who's entering all the data. Okay. And make sure you put the link in here, Control V, and then you have the link. So now the data entry person has completed their task. They're done. So now let's go back to the slides. So the next thing we're going to do is on the Google Sheets setup is now the purpose of this is to capture the opportunity quickly and completely. So both of them is to make sure we already captured it quickly and completely in the first one. Now we're on step 2, intake. Okay, the BD lead qualifying phase. So now L through Q, these are days available, days remaining in red, orange, 0 to 3 days left, yellow. I just use the stoplights, and then APMP. I do most of everything according to the Association Proposal Management Program, I believe, APMP. I always, because I call it acronym all the times, I forget sometimes the name of it. And so they set it up basically about the same, or if you follow the Shipley's process, but have a process and then document it so everybody knows what the process is at the organization, and not one person using the APMP standard and then the other person's using the Shipley's. So that's why it's important. Then the Go No assessment link. Okay, the folder creating up to if you're going to pursue it. You don't want to waste time going after stuff that you're not going to pursue. So that's why they're doing the data intake. Then now, but maybe you're the person doing everything. It depends on your size, who's assigned what, and then your stage, identified, qualified, or dropped, and then your rationale. So I gave you a simple rationale template. Okay. You want to know the fit summary, the key gap or risk, next step. So basically opportunity aligns with 54-16-11 plus the total small business set aside. 30-day response winnable is manageable if it was 30 days, but there's a gap in the performance. Suggest teaming with ABC Consulting. Now review file upload, see link in column M, ready for CEO's decision. So you always want to put a comment in there. So let's go to this section right here. So now notice I made the different colors. This is yellow because that's data input. The blue, that's the BD person, the lead. But like I said, you're a solopreneur, you're going to use the entire sheet. But the goal is to set it up to have a team. You're not going to always have to do it yourself. You're going to have a team. So it's important that you start setting the stuff up right now with the intent of having people come on and take those roles. Okay. So if this one had 19 days available, but days remaining, but you see the date log, it was 8/20 and today's already 8/29. So of course it will be a negative because now this one is letting you know only 1 day remaining, right? Because this one was logged on the 21st, but you see, let me go over here. You see the due dates, the published date and the due date. Okay. Because you want to know the trends. Okay. Is DOD only putting stuff out there for 19 days or are they always putting it? So you'll kind of start gauging. Okay. This is DOD. Normally they put stuff out there for 19 days. So let's get it. You can start gauging those different trends, but I don't want to get too long because the video's already getting long. So let me hurry up and get to this part. And that's why I'm breaking it up in series. So that way you can do a little bit at a time and then rewatch if I was going too fast, because sometimes I do go fast. But it's to keep the content coming and to keep it manageable. Okay. And then the Go No assessment. So all you would do is just go get a Word, Google Doc. You will copy that share link. you know, you would hit that share link, and then you would just, once you hit that share link, let me see. I was trying to get a sheet so you can get a understanding what I meant when I said the share link. So if you have a Word document and you just click it right here, and then you put the link in there. Hold on, let me see. You put the link right here, and then you hit insert, and then you just add the link. You see what I'm saying? You just hit the link and you add it right here, and then you apply. So then you'll be able to just click on it, and then it'll go to it. So I was trying to pull up one now for you so you can see that. Hold on, let me see. Get a Word doc, Google Doc, and I'm gonna call it test so you can see. Okay, and then I'm gonna pull it over here, and let's see. So it should let me do it now. Okay, there we go. So then you just copy it, that link right there, and then you will put it on the sheet. And all you do is copy that down, because I like to just keep it so that way I have a placeholder in there. And then you hit that insert the button, and then you hit, and then you apply. There you go. And so now the assessment that you've put is already here. So that way, when the CEO's turn to look at it, they just click on here. And then you put on here, if you don't even plan on sending it, I wouldn't recommend. If it's a no, ignore. It shouldn't even go to the CEO, because you've already seen it wasn't a good fit. But now if it's on the, and then you want to be like, no, maybe, I don't know. And then you just keep pulling down it, the drop downs. You can set it, say you ignore, or say we should pursue. Should we research and partner? Should we email the CEO for information? Are we going to just monitor for positioning? Are we going to do a capture plan? You know, just all you're doing is document. And then no, after I did my assessment, no. And then all you do is open it up so you can see. And then your rationale, you see I put the rationale by it, right? And then the next fields you will be creating is for the CEO. And I will be picking that back up in the next video. But because like I said, we're going to keep these videos slow and low. But okay, hold on, because I don't want to lose track. Okay, and this is the only thing you need to put for step 3 for the sheet is those columns, those next columns. Okay, you're gonna add. Now we're gonna because we're not gonna do Q, because Q is on Evelyn. So we're gonna start with R and S. And R is the CEO comment, quick go or no go confirmation. And then S, you start putting in here. Okay, so action status. Okay, next step, BD step. Okay, so this is the CEO letting you know, are we going to email the CEO? Are we going to monitor for positioning, draft capture plan, prepare a proposal, or just no go? No, we're not going to do this. After they looked at it and you thought it was a pretty good fit, or you said no, and say you did say no, but your CEO wants to see every opportunity, even if it's a go or no go. So you've already made the rationale, and then they want to review it again. So that's this keeps the flow logical. The VA logs, the BD qualifies, the CEO decides, and then the BD executes. So now you understand. So when you come into your meetings with your counselor, with your coach, with your consultant, it's hard for them to help you if they don't know what's going on in the business, that you've documented and have a story to tell of what is happening. So then they can give you insights, because I've come in too many meetings and there's no information, and it's hard to provide insights when there's no information. Okay, so I made it in my mind. I said, I have to teach our small businesses, because we are so busy working. We're not developing our skills as a leader, a CEO, an executive, and then you have to manage your team as well. So we want to be able to do it, manage it effectively. Okay, and then the walkthrough, I showed you the basic walkthrough. That was a contract development, acquisition support, the NAICS code, was 54, 16, 11, and then Romeo 707, and so forth on. And then you got to have the next action. We're going to research a teaming partner. We're not going to bid on this. What is going to be the outcome? What's the next step? That's all we're trying to do, is get the next step. That way you're always moving forward. And then updating the status. You want to turn it from identified to qualified, from qualified to capture. Well, we say go or capture. Okay, we're going to proceed. We qualified it. Yes, let's proceed. And then, because, we have our different talking jargon, just like we do in contracting, just like we have any proposal development, anyone. That's what that means. Go. We're going to decide to keep going. And then just like in Shipley, you got the gate reviews. Okay, gate review 1, 2, 3, 4, because at gate 1, you just identify, you think it's a good fit, but once you start diving deeper in there, you'll see if it's a good fit or not. And then we want to know, did we propose, or is it we got to close it out. Either we won it or we lost it. Okay, we won it or we lost it. And then the recap. So GovCon pipeline in your Google Workspace, you got to track and identify the proposal. You got to track it all the way from the beginning to the end. Did I win it? Did I lose it? Or did I just not go after it because I don't have enough time? Or I looked at and I don't have the qualifications, couldn't get a team and partner. Why are you not going after it? Why didn't you finish this? Okay, because resources, time is something we don't get back. The resources is critical, especially when you're a small business just getting started. And then the opportunity intake form, the BD, we talked about the BD qualifying workflow. Columns A through K, that's the sourcing specialist, identifying, that's the raw data logging. Okay, and then L to P is, it should be L through Q. I apologize, y'all. BD qualifying. Okay, the BDX evaluates, creates the folder, links the docs, records the rationale. And then I believe it was R through S, because I changed it when I was going through the workflow and I didn't update the slides, and I apologize for that. But I want you to understand this is a living document, and it's going to keep changing, especially when you see, I think I should do this first and I should do this second. And then you just keep on tweaking until you have it, until it's such as flowing, because it's so easy. The one thing I like about these Google Docs is you can move the rationale. So say if I wanted to move the opportunity title, I could move it. Or say I wanted to put another step before. All you do is grab it, move it over, and then it moves. That's what I love about these documents. It is so easy. It's collaborative. You can share it with your team member. You can do so much with this Google Workspace, and you're not constrained. So that's what I love about using the Google platform. And then you can do view only. It's so many things, restrict the access so you can protect your information and your proprietary information. Okay, so now next week's training, we'll dive deeper into the acquisition planning life cycle so you can understand the government plans for opportunities before they hit SAM. Because what we're trying to do is get to the procurement forecast. Okay, I want to see what the shopping list, what they planning to buy, basically, what you about to buy. So that way I can see, do I offer that service? And then if I don't, and I want to enter that space, I need to figure out, I need a team and partner. It's all just to help us to make better decisions. Okay, understanding the acquisition planning life cycle. Okay, it's for you to make better decisions. So I hope this video was helpful to you. Please subscribe to my channel, like, share, and comment. When you all tell me what you need to see, I can deliver. But when sometimes you get far removed, especially when you're at a different phase in your business. Now you're not in a startup phase anymore. So sometimes the things, it's not in the forefront of your mind anymore. But when you ask me the things, oh yeah, when I was going through this part or this stage of my business, I had to do this. So when you all comment and tell me what you want me to record videos on, that helps. And it helps me to create content that's for the community. This is for the small business community. Okay. And see you in the next training video. Until then, keep building, keep learning, and keep planning. All right, y'all. Take care now. Bye. how they say, get them dollars.
Yes, yes.
Get that paper, all that. But you're doing it the right way.
Right.
Not everybody
Right.
Okay. And we trying to build the community.
What is your definition of success?
My definition is you're happy. Every morning you get up and you're like, oh, I can't wait to get in there on that computer, get my, look, I'm ready and up. That was success for me.
Yeah.
Just being able to answer the phone, talk to my family,
Yeah.
enjoy work, and get up just smiling and happy, you know. Let's talk about the importance of having a coach. A coach challenges you, keeps you accountable, and helps you unlock your full potential. And as a GovCon coach, this is exactly what we do for our small business. We provide guidance, strategies, and support needed to navigate the complex world of government contract. And together is how you reach new heights. And the best athletes out there know this: the Simone Biles, the Shakira Richardsons, the Serena Williams. So if you feel like you are ready to take it to the next height, join the group coaching program. Take care.